What if you don't want to jump tandem, jump with somebody? What if you want to jump solo? We're gonna find out on this episode of Taking Off. Well, I wanted to fly to the airport. It's a private airport and they have some rules because it's nothing but jumping there. So for general aviation, that's something that's a really big point about safety for the skydivers and general aviation pilots not really being aware. So it's going to be good to learn about that. Anyway, had to take a longer drive for me because I live on the other side of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, as I call it. And so I couldn't fly. The ceilings are just way too low right now, which means I'm not going to jump today, probably, although it looks like it may burn off. There's a wind factor right now, but there's a whole bunch of classroom stuff that I need to get done. So, well, let's get it done. Hi, I'm looking for Steven.
All right, he's here. We can get him for you.
All right.
You want to get started on your way?
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and scan this QR code on this wall, and it will print out on my side when it's all submitted.
Okay, cool. I'll get going. Paperwork took about less than 10 minutes, so not too bad. And that included flying in as well. All right, let's go meet him.
Steven's right on back there, and he's ready to go.
All right, cool. Thanks for your help.
Hey, you're welcome, Ben.
Okay, so the weather's really, really bad, so we're not going to be jumping today probably, right?
No. 600-foot ceilings. Winds are supposed to be coming up over 30 miles an hour, so today's just not looking good.
What do people do when the weather's really bad? And what are these other people doing?
Hang out, learning back over here. This guy's in the program learning to skydive, but since today's bad weather, we take the opportunity to learn how to pack parachutes. So he's going to do that portion of his process. This young man is actually learning how to become an instructor. So he's working with a evaluator to become an instructor in the future.
Okay. All right. And Brian, it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what are we going to be doing today?
We're going to be doing our first jump course, our ground school training. So it goes over anything and everything that you need to know in order to conduct your solo experiences. What I'm handing you right here is our manual. This is a wealth of information. This is going to cover in depth everything that we talk about. We're doing the ground school portion first, which is slightly unconventional because we usually will start with the tandem, get our toes wet up in the free fall environment first. But usually people would come in, do their first tandem. Usually they take about a week to come back to do their second tandem. Once they're done with their second tandem, they sign up for our ground school class that we run on Sundays for them. Every Sunday at 8 a.m. and then that's what we're getting ready to do now. We teach you everything about gear, hand signals, action symbols, how to fly a parachute, how to fly a pattern, land safely, and obviously the bigger part is the free fall.
Doing it out of order, how will that affect us?
It won't affect you at all. Usually we just like to have people have some sort of free fall experience prior so they have a better idea of what to expect or maybe what they want out of the experience, but you have prior flying experience and you've also done a tandem before.
I've done one tandem, yeah.
And you obviously have your eyes set on getting that first jump done.
Yeah,
so
I do.
It'll be good, and this will also give us more time to kind of compartmentalize all the information before we go up and do our first solo. We're gonna do a gear check. This is going to be January 6th of 2024. It was packed by OZL, and he did an air, inspect, and repack. Okay, so this needs to be packed every 180 days.
Solo, I don't have to, I don't pack my own chute, or you have to be certified to be able to pack your own chute.
So while you're going through your student progression, just like this guy is right here, we will teach you how to pack your parachute. Here is our first parachute that we're going to check. This is our reserve tray. Okay, so I'm going to trace two straight lines. This is something called an RSL. My container is now officially open. Okay, so we're going to remember this for a couple hours from now when we do emergency procedures. Pilot chute is attached to the bridle. Bridle has the pin on it. Once this gets to line extension, canopy comes out of the D-bag. Here's our fabric. Now this is gonna all start opening up. Now, the first thing that I want us to look at is this thing right here. It's called a slider. Can you imagine why it's called a slider? Because it slides. It's distributing the air evenly into the nose of the parachute. My lines are connected to my container by risers. And then when I'm looking at my toggles, These are what my control lines are connected to. Now this slack that I'm showing you right here, this is your brake excess.
One of the most important things about ground school is bringing your own supply of Diet Cokes. So I think I'm ready to go.
For you to complete your USPA A license, we're gonna fill out something called the proficiency card, where it's got, I think it's 5 different categories.
Where the rubber meets the road, how many jumps, how many times is that?
It's a minimum of 25 jumps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for a majority of the population, that's entirely feasible, 100%. But there are certain individuals that will take maybe 30 or 35 skydives. It's very common for people to repeat at least 1 or 2 during their progression. Everyone progresses at different rates.
So it's a lot like pilot training in that regard. Is at the end of the day, what's the license called?
Your USPA A license. And then we have an A license, a B license, a C license, and a D license. So we're gonna think feet and knees together, slight bend in the knees, arms all the way up, chest slightly forward, eyes at a 45. Okay, so when we're coming in, we're gonna say no bends in the elbows, arms all the way up, good. We're gonna grasp those toggles, and then you're gonna hear your instructor saying not yet, not yet. Ready, 1 to our shoulders, 2 to our chest, 3 turn the wrists, push them all the way down. Okay, back up, we might be coming in, we might say 1 to our chest or to our shoulders, we'll hold it for a sec, and then we'll hear a 2, 3. Okay, arms back up. We might hear a 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up onto this first platform, and we're gonna remember our active pilot's position, which is gonna be feet and knees together. Okay, here's my shocks. Chest slightly forward, arms all the way up, eyes at a 45. Now when we're practicing, we're gonna do a 1, 2, 3 all the way down. And remember, tuck the neck. This is our bobblehead. We can injure our neck. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down, just step by step. I'm gonna hop off. When I contact, I wanna think, you remember those toys where you click the bottom of the button and it's got the strings in it and off? Mm-hmm. Okay, I wanna think that. Okay, it's gonna be onto my ankles and through.
I have way too much stuff in my pockets. Took the test, finished the ground school portion, learned a ton. We went through malfunctions, we went through emergency procedures, we went through all that kind of stuff, how to land, how to deploy. A lot of things, there's a lot more here. There's the whole parachute system is more complicated than I thought it was, so it was eye-opening.
All right. That's it. We're done with the ground school portion.
Okay, what's next?
What's next is you are going to sign up for the online portion, which is going to be e-skydiving. You're going to be asked a series of questions that's related to your specific dive flow. So it's going to be dive flow 1. It's going to show you the video that you're going to complete for us. Okay. Then it's going to go over things like emergency procedures, aircraft procedures, control checks, maybe basic flight, canopy flight, or our pattern work. Mm-hmm. And then from there, once you're done with that, all we need to do is we get you in here, you spend a couple minutes going over the dive flow with your instructor, and then we get you inside the aircraft.
Well, one thing about Skydive Spaceland Dallas is you don't want to land on your ass. Well, it has been weeks of bad weather here in North Texas, but today it is beautiful, so let's go jumping. In the car again, had to take the drive instead of fly. Got to the hangar, as you saw, and plane didn't pass my pre-flight inspection. The front landing strut, the nose gear, was collapsed down, which means I've lost hydraulics there, so... and unfortunately the spinner, also the tip of it, turned on the power button on the best tug, and so the best tug was dead as well. So jump in the car, drive out here, let's get some tandems done. What a difference weather makes. This place is hopping. Glad I got ground school out of the way. Really excited, looking forward to the jumping. Like to get these tandems out of the way so I can do that solo jump. So let's get going. Let's do this. We are 5 minutes away from going on the first tandem jump. We're going to be going in the Otter, not the Super Caravan. It's going to be a whole lot faster than the 182 that I did my very first tandem about 6 years ago, when it took like 3 days to get up to altitude. Okay, honestly, on this first tandem, I'm not as excited as I thought I would be, mainly because I just kind of want to get this done so I can get to the solo. I don't know if that's a good attitude or not. We'll find out.
How high are we going?
We're going to 14,000.
How fast we're cruising down?
Pretty fast.
120 miles an hour. And then what's super important, what do we gotta do for Daniel at 6,000 on the way down?
6,000 is where we're gonna pull.
Get that parachute out there.
Yeah.
Keep the party going.
Yeah. Here we go.
Liking a little bit better than that 182 jump?
Oh, this is a lot more comfortable than the 182.
A little bit more of a luxury experience,
Yeah,
right?
and it's faster.
I like it. How high are we?
We're at 7,000.
7,000, so about halfway there.
Yeah, halfway.
All right, Dan, back on the ground. I like it. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. That was a good first jump.
Good first jump.
You know, it's yeah, it's good to get that one done. Getting used to it, getting familiar with it, I think is the whole key. And
Yeah.
just like flying, you know, the more landings you do, the more you get up in the air, the better. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more. So looking at the operation, what really impresses me about Skydive Spaceland is that they've got this down to a machine. And that's good. It's good for safety. It's good for the experience. It's a big operation. And you know, when I went skydiving before, it was a very small operation with nothing wrong with that. It's just there's a huge difference here, and wow. So that plane, that Otter, nice. Went on the first jump. The first jump was good. You're supposed to relax and have a lot of fun. To me, I was making sure I checked all the boxes at my posture. I guess posture is the thing I worry about the most because I'm not very flexible. And, you know, they're saying arch, and I'm just a little scared of that. But that all went just fine. So the first jump was good. Then second jump went pretty much right away. We were in the plane probably within 30-40 minutes of landing from the first jump. And this time with the second tandem that you're leading up to your solo, you have to check some boxes. And so it was just, you know, just kind of, well, we talk about it in aviation, chair flying. It was just closing my eyes and going through the motions, making sure. My biggest fear was that I would not check the altimeter, which you're supposed to do every 5 seconds. And so just really getting the habit of doing these motions. And once we got out there and I did the jump, I'd chair flown enough by that point in the 30 minutes leading up that it all went like clockwork. So that all went good. We landed a little long in the mud, so that was kind of fun. Definitely a sliding landing. So the tandems are behind me. I'm so looking forward to the first solo. So by the time you're watching this, I will probably have already played the Christy video where she jumped and I went solo. I hope she jumped. Anyway, so don't forget our sponsors, Flying Eyes. They're great for helmets or headsets. And flyingeyesoptics.com. Use my discount code, taking off all caps, one word, for 10% off. Clemens Insurance, Jerry. did really save me some money when I switched over to him, because he knows how to work it. Clemensinsurance.net. 67 Design, 67D.com, the best mounts for your camera or iPhone or tablet. I'm actually holding a 67D mount right now for this camera. Marshall Protective Services, personal protection, elevated MPS protects.com. Z-Vision, the brightest landing and taxi lights out there. Listen, all our sponsors are pilots. If you can support them, it would really support us. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time on Taking Off.